It's been a while since we served up some duck for our Sunday lunch, so that's what we're doing today.
Indeed, Martin O'Donnell from the 12th Hotel in Barna, County Galway, is with us today. Martin, you're very welcome back. I'll tell you, I'm actually intrigued with this because I love duck, I love eating it, but I've never been brave enough to cook it. And you're actually taking it a full duck here, and first of all, you're going to debone it.
Yeah, I think...
He's plucking the feathers there in the way.
Was he?
Oh, yeah.
The most way up. I think it's important that it's broken down, because essentially if you take a whole duck, you have two dishes, you have two dinners. So you have the breasts that are cooked nice and slowly like I'm going to do, but you also have the legs that are here, they're huge. Perfect if you slow roast them over some lovely vegetables, 2 hours in the oven, low and slow. Absolutely delicious. So you get kind of two different, totally different dinners out of it.
The way duck tastes best is when the skin is crispy.
That's it.
That's it. But a lot of fat comes from duck, so one of the things we have to address here is how to make sure you don't have this big sludge and fatty skin at the end.
So I think, first of all, if you do want to take it off the bone, this one is very similar to a chicken. It's exactly the same concept. You have a bone straight down the centre, comes down here with your wishbone.
Yeah.
So it's quite simple. You just... A lot of it is peeling it off with your fingers as well.
I'd say a lot of it's a good knife, though. You're making that look very easy. I'd say I'd be hacking away, like...
Exactly, with your hands.
Serial killer.
Essentially, I'm only using the tip of it. So you're really not... You're just pulling it off the bone, nice and simple.
You're right, Tommy, it does make it look very easy, doesn't it?
Very easy indeed, yeah.
Do quite a lot of them each week. So. And I think if you do buy a breast in a shop, there's always this kind of sinew at the back. That's really important to just try and get under it and take it off.
Really? Okay.
That's what kind of causes the duck to tense up and go tough. So it's really important that you kind of just loosen it off, cut it off. Right. So what I've done with this one, I have one just kind of slowly on first. It's a cold pan I've started with. So for me, that's quite important as well. We do it in the restaurant that way.
So start with a cold pan. The reason behind that being what?
It releases the fat slowly, and it's not too hard, too fast.
You don't need to oil the pan because there's so much fat in the duck. Is that the
I would put maybe a half a teaspoon on the breast, just like that, and then into a slightly cool pan. And you can hear that there's no sizzle there. It's just going to come really slowly. And then throughout the process of having it on the skin side, I take out the fat all the time. So just pour off the fat.
That's the secret to kind of keeping it crispy, is it?
Yes, and the other secret is leave it alone.
Okay.
Don't touch it.
Don't be messing with it.
Don't be messing with it. Don't be turning it. Don't be looking at it. A little bit of seasoning on this side of it. Salt and pepper. What I'm pairing it with this morning is a gooseberry chutney. So very, very simple. Chutneys, I think, beautiful with all fruit and vegetables. They're so simple to make. I have some shallots in the pot, cooking off for a couple of minutes, and some garlic. So that's the start.
You like your shallots, don't you? That's your go-to.
It's my go-to. It's the start of every dish for me. They're sweeter than onion. They're less harsh. Kids won't mind them as much. This one is just organic apples, diced, all the same. It goes in next.
On top of the onions?
On top of the onions and the garlic, right? So it's the basis of most chutneys. Garlic, shallots, spices, apple, and then the main ingredient, which today is gooseberry.
And gooseberries in season at the moment?
Gooseberries banging season at the moment. Really lovely. I think
my granny Eileen Hurley used to have big gooseberry bushes out the back. Making a gooseberry jam.
But I think most people associate it with the harshness. That's quite. So we're going to try and take that out. So with our chutney, we have some lovely spices. That's classic again to a chutney. So you have mustard seeds, fennel seeds, juniper berries, cinnamon stick and thyme. Wrap them up in a little bit of muslin. So it's the same for the kids, like the muslin cloths, tiny bit, wrap it. It saves you fishing for all these things after. So you don't
the
have
time is that's an awkward one, isn't it?
And even the fennel seeds, cloves as well. Whole cloves can be a bit kind of unpleasant to bite on, you know. So it kind of eliminates all that.
You get all the flavour, but none of the bad stuff.
Exactly. So you can just pick it out afterwards.
The muslin, wrap all the.
So you just pick them out after. You can just pop it out afterwards.
I hear in the chicken breast all the time, and you're ignoring it as you said you would. But
yeah, exactly. The only thing I do all the time is just pick up the pan and pour off the fat. So you can see there's quite a lot of fat coming through off the pan. So the most important thing is just to keep it off it. That gives the duck a lovely chance, the skin to get crispy and crispy and crispy.
You said you started this off in a cold pan. What heat did you bring it up to?
So it's still on about number 4, so that's just under half. You know, if your cooker goes to 8, bring it up to maybe 3 or 4, right? And then what we're going to do is going to get that skin really crispy. You can see that it's coming slowly. So just to show you guys, it's not golden crispy yet. So we're just going to turn it back over. And on this one, we have the chutney. So you have the garlic and shallots, you have your spices. Again, they're not going to go anywhere. It's parsley all in close.
Hasn't gone in yet, has it?
Not yet. We're going to get to that one right now. This one is a lovely vinegar. It doesn't have to be anything special. It can be any kind of vinegar you have. apple vinegar, cider vinegar,
What's
white
that?
wine. That one's actually a heather blossom vinegar. It's
Just a heather blossom.
yeah, it's a wild organic. You know, it's whatever you have in the press. You know.
In Connemara, they're picking the heather.
Yeah.
But I think
roaming the hills,
Roaming
picking the
the
heather.
Roman.
You see him with Laura picking the seaweed.
That was amazing last week. I really enjoyed that.
this one is very simple apple juice.
All right.
So what it's going to do is going to stew down really nice and slowly. It's going to come out really sticky and brown sugar. And then we're getting to the gooseberries. They're going in next. When you're doing your chutney, it's really important to taste it. So maybe after 10 minutes, you taste it. Oh, it's too vinegary.
Yeah.
More sugar.
Bit more sugar.
It's simple. It's not rocket science.
sweet,
It's
bit more
cooking thing.
vinegar.
You know, which
Too sweet with more vinegar.
Exactly, and that's all it is. But I think the most important thing, sometimes people don't do it. They put it on the plate and they give it to someone, and everyone was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
taste it before you give it to them."
It
And then
seems
it's like,
obvious, doesn't it? But it's
exactly,
yeah,
doesn't it?
Do you like it?
Yeah. So the last thing on the chutney is we're going to pop in the bay leaf and the organic gooseberries. We're just going to throw them in. And what's
Leaving
going to
the
happen
little
is,
stems on them there, yeah?
yeah. So what's going to happen with these ones is they're going to stew into the chutney, and later on we're going to pop in a few more, and it gives it the texture that they're not all a mush.
It's not mushy.
It's not all mushy. So you have some lovely
Give it a
texture.
fruity
Got your flamethrower with you, have you, as well?
I've brought that one. You can
When we return, the chutney will be coming to conclusion and we'll be getting the old scapes together.
We'll be getting those going as well.